Okay, today we're joined by Keith Bogart of the Ocean Breeze Realty Group here on Vancouver Island. And we are going to do kind of a crash course introductory session into using Real Signature. We'll be talking about how to get documents in, how to add someone into your directory, and send some PDFs out for signing. And this is a system that Keith actually hasn't seen before. Keith, what are you currently using?
Currently using DocuSign. Have been using it for about, oh geez, it's coming into 7 years.
Okay, so you're a very proficient DocuSign user.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. So there will be things that are different. It's not the same system. And when I first got into this Real Signature, that was kind of my hang up, and all of my input was like, make it more like DocuSign, because that's
Yeah.
what I was used to also. And a lot of things have been changed, and they're continuing to change things. At the same time, I personally have come to the realization, hey, it is just going to be different. It's going to get documents signed, but just like AuthentiSign isn't DocuSign, this will be a different
Exactly. Yeah. They're,
system.
they're all different. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. We are going to pull up Real Signature. So this is what it looks like. So within Rezen, on the side there, you have all the different tabs and sections you can go to, and there's a section for Real Signature. You click that, and this is what comes up. So here's your home screen that you can see here. And then underneath that, you have templates. So templates is useful. You know, a PDS, if you're sending it out to a seller, like how many questions are there with initial boxes? Yes, no, maybe. Like
Yeah.
it could be 300 different text fields, right? That you'd have to put in. So this one, I made it once, and now I can just send it to that seller and they can just initial accordingly. So you don't have to do it every single time. Another thing that's kind of useful is, see here it says share.
Yeah.
I can actually share this to you right now, and you don't even have to create the template. So
That's great.
anyone
That's a
within
great
Real.
feature. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do that like with team things. I can do that. But then, yeah, anyone you know, just, hey, here's a PDS with it filled out. On the left here, so this is that section shared with me. So I can send that to you, and that's where you'll see it. Here's your Real agreements with Real, library pending, signature, and docs signed. So if you click home, these two sections just show up here too. So all these are completed on the, you can see with those green boxes there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just get a document in and we'll show you how to send it out. So if you're just doing one PDF, I'm just going to put the DORT in here that we use here in BC, and it's uploaded it, and I see it right here as a document that I can start working with. Now, I can just click this pen icon and work with it, but let's say, well, I'm actually going to send a package of more than just one PDF. So you could do this with 10 or 20, but right now I'll just add the privacy notice and consent form. So we'll make these two into a packet to send out. So I do that by selecting them both and then say right here, create packet. And then you're going to name it. And now I've essentially gathered those PDFs together and put them in a packet or an envelope, and we see it right here. So now I'm going to click that edit button, and we'll start putting data in there to send out to our client, or in this case, I'll send it to you. So this is one section that I had a hard time getting used to about why do it, because in DocuSign, you put docs into an envelope and it just assumes that you have one client that you're sending it to. And then if you want to add more, there's that section on the top left where it's like you click to add more clients, right?
Yeah.
So in this one, it kind of assumes that, well, you're going to be working with two buyers or two sellers, and it already has that there. Rather than adding people, you have to work in the opposite of deleting people. So let's say this is for a buyer. I'm going to be not working with sellers, so it's 2 clicks and they're gone. And because I'm not working with 2 people, I'm just going to work with you. I'm going to take away the second buyer. If you did something erringly, you can click here and add a person back.
Okay.
But that's how that section's done. Now, one thing that is pretty cool is if I click this button right here, select a transaction. If I already had a transaction going, I can click that button and say, this belongs with 123 Main Street. And then as soon as they sign that document and it's sent back to me, I don't have to manually upload it into Reason. It's already within that transaction.
Okay, that's a good feature. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've told the system there's only one person signing both of these documents. We're going to go to the next screen. Now, this is where you see the PDFs, and let's say they're in the wrong order. I'll just go like that and drag them in order, and then I'm going to add my signees. So we're going to add you, and I'm going to grab your email, which I saved over here. Now, I can just click add, and you'll be there as a signee, or I can add you to my directory. Now, it's been about a year since I've used DocuSign, but I believe when you put someone in as a buyer like this, you don't have to really even add them to your directory, right? Next
That's
time you
right.
start typing in Keith, it's automatically there.
Yeah, they basically become a contact. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something I would like improved, and it's not there yet. Now it does take a few extra clicks. This did just come in, I think, within the week, maybe 10 days ago. But now we can save people into our directory. So I just click this button here and I save you in. And then next time I can just start typing your name and it'll pop up. Okay, so here is our test email subject. And then here's the body. So this is where I would say, hey, please review the offer that I've sent you. Look at the subjects that are in place. If you have any questions, please reach out. All that stuff we typically do.
Okay.
You can change this, who it's being sent from. Perhaps if you had an assistant working for you, something like that. You can CC it to an assistant also.
And I assume you can also, I see that you can set the signing order as well, which is
Yes.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Set your signing order right here if you want one person in front of the other. Okay, so we filled out who's going to sign it. It's you. Now we need to tell it. Did I not click add?
Yeah, I thought you did, but
Let's see. Okay, maybe I didn't. Because this button right here, the next button wasn't blue. So
yeah.
now it's there. So we'll go on to the next screen. Now you see the PDF just like you would within a DocuSign, and you start filling in where you want people to sign things. So I see you as my client I'm working with, and then you're automatically, when I say you, me, I'm automatically always added on the bottom. So I'll start with me, and I'm going to be signing here. Now, when I sign, you see that it automatically has a signed date field that also comes. So I can move that over to the date, or if I don't want it, I can hit delete on my keyboard and it's gone. So I know that's a little bit different than DocuSign. It doesn't automatically come with that. So I'm going to do that, put a date here. I'm going to head down here to agent name and put my name here. One thing also that's different and took me a while to get used to is a text box. You put it here and you can change the size. However, you don't put the text in on this screen. It's done on the subsequent one.
Oh,
That,
okay.
yeah. And I don't know. I'm indifferent. I'm used to it now. But at first I was like, no, I want to put it in now.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm used to it doing on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go back to you, and I'm going to put your initial right here, and I'm going to put you a date box, and put you a signee name, and that is essentially done. So I'll go next document. And one thing that I do like, which I think is a little bit different with this also, is see how I've selected initials.
Yeah.
If I click here, it dropped that box down, but it's still stuck to my cursor. So in DocuSign, I believe if I want to do another initial here, I need to go back over here, select initials, and then click here again. Am I correct?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
So it's just a small thing, but here it's basically stuck to my cursor until I switch something else, and I can basically just go like this really quickly.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice feature.
Yeah, I've grown to like that and get used to it.
Yeah.
So I'll have you sign here, put your date here, automatically put your name here. That's kind of it. Like another thing that I use often is strike through, but typically I want to control that. So I'll go back to my name and I'll say, let's cross this out. And because I crossed it out, I need you to initial. So you initialed that change. You can also make an initial box See that red star there? That means it's a required field. If
Okay.
I go over here while it's selected, I can uncheck required, and now that's an optional. So that's for like a PDS, for example. That's pretty much it. Like,
So
otherwise, I just send it. Yeah.
yeah, does it have a mobile version as well? So if someone's signing on their phone?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
And obviously, I'm sure it does this as well. So once everybody's signed off on the documents, everyone gets a completed package to their email.
They do. I was mentioning before our recording here that here. Let me go back to before our recording session. I was talking with the developer today on a Zoom call, just giving him input on what we'd like to see different and things to change. And that's what I do appreciate is they are open to listening, and several of things that I've suggested have been changed. But one that I really want, and I think it's a huge feature that is missing,
Yeah.
is right now when it's done, I can go back to that Real Signature homepage and see that it's done, or I can see that one person hasn't signed yet, and I can download it from there, and that's all fine. Organizationally, I can go back there and find it.
Right.
But with Real Signature, or with DocuSign, when it's done, it's sent back to me, and that same subject email that I sent saying, "Hey, here's the offer for 123 Main Street. Can you sign it?" DocuSign sends it back with that same subject saying, "123 Main Street that you sent has now been signed." That doesn't happen. The email that we get sent back now just says, "Your Real Signature document has been signed."
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, searching your email for a DocuSign or something that's been signed is impossible because everything looks exactly the same.
It
You,
does. Yeah.
yeah. So
100%.
that is lacking, and I've made that very clear. You can go to Real Signature and find it in the things you've sent, but your email is not the place unless it's just fresh, your first unread email, then you can deal with it that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if you know this answer to this question because it's more technical. Do you know with this digital signature platform who they're using for their security? Like what do you call? I think it's a trust certificate. So we've found out that depending where the company is based, that's doing the digital signature platform. There's different from each country. There's different rules in terms of privacy. And we actually found out some companies who are providing e-signature platforms are actually using out-of-country authentication, including China, which was kind of interesting. So, and I do know, depending where it's developed or where they're based, they may not be, how do I say it? They may not have the restrictions in terms of where they can have it authenticated by, where the company's located. So,
Yeah, I don't have the answer to that question. That's like a good topic to dig into. I do know, like, just like when you get a DocuSign doc back, there's that line of text on the top of the page that shows it was authenticated, and you can
yeah.
dig back into all that info. But no, I haven't asked that question at this time.
Yeah, I know it's more of a technical question, but yeah.
Yeah, no, valid question though. So we were just about done. So let's say you're done now. You can click preview. And this is when it prompts you to essentially put in the information that I have to put in. So I'll click the start button. I sign. And as I mentioned, this is where you put in the text. So coming from DocuSign, I was absolutely used to putting it on the previous screen. But
Yes.
now, yeah. So that's probably the biggest hurdle and like pain point that I think you'd feel coming from DocuSign.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
So now that's done. I'm going to go into the next document. If there's anything I need to do here, this is what I'm prompted to. And then I'm just prompted to send it off for signatures. And it's sent your way. Here, it'll show up as pending until you sign it. And again, if there was two people signing, I could see that there'd be a green check mark here, but I'm waiting for the other person. And then as soon as it's done, this will turn green and I'll be able to download it right from here. And as well, it'll send me that email saying it is done.
Okay. I have one other question, and it's very minor, and it's definitely not a big deal. So if the strike through, I noticed is black. Can you change the strike through color, or are you just restricted to it being a black strike through?
You know what? I'm going to write that down and tell them because it doesn't stand out, right? It's
No, I
not
like
like
the
a
red. I'll
full,
be honest, I like the red strike through. It's just really visible for a client to see the change, or the other realtor to see that change. So
yeah. That's good. And that's the type of stuff that we can just make it incrementally better over time.
yeah.
So no, right now you can't, but that's something I'll send to them after this call.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks for your time, Keith. Any other questions that I can help you with or kind of got your bearings?
No, it's great. Thanks, Josh. No, it really highlights the features it has, and no, I agree. Like overall, some of the benefits it has definitely, I'd say, make it more efficient than DocuSign. So
Yeah, in some ways, I think the biggest like leg up it has is that again, you can just tell it when someone signs it, automatically put it in the right filing system, in the right
yeah,
transaction.
that's the big
That's pretty
plus.
cool.
Yeah, and it goes right to
Yeah.
your transaction if you need it to do that. No, it's
Yeah.
great.
Okay, thanks for your time, Keith. We'll be in touch. Take care.
Yeah, thanks, Josh.